Hello, ni hao. My name is Mikko. I'm working as an adaptation officer at the Adaptation Fund Board Secretariat, which is hosted by the Jeff Secretariat here at the bank. Before my career with the bank from 2001 to 2006, I was working with projects in and related to China, and I've been asked to tell a little bit about my experience about working in China and what you might expect in terms of cultural communication in China. I'm Finnish by nationality, but I'm married to a Chinese, and Chinese is one of our home languages. About cultural communication in China, there are probably hundreds of books about cultural etiquette and business etiquette in China. And I do recommend that if you are going to work in China or travel to China for business, that you would read one or two of those. If you have to embark on a business trip immediately, I would recommend that you at least find information online. There are several very good online sources nowadays for learning about Chinese culture. Those online sources and books will tell you all about the details, what you should or should not do in China. You should never give a knife or a clock as a present, for example, or never white flowers and these kind of little things. But more than the details, I think it's important to set the tone of communication right from the beginning, and that is what I would like to give some advice on. When you're working in any foreign country, and especially when you're working in China, you should be aware of your short-term goals in your communication, that you get your message through and that you are understood and you get your job done, but also on the long-term goals, that you establish a good atmosphere in the organization with which you are working in China, and that fosters then a positive cooperation into the future. For getting your message through in China, it's important to understand that there's a huge amount of variation among different Chinese people on how ready they are to communicate with foreigners, how experienced they are in communicating with non-Chinese people. And that is related to their former exposure to foreign people and foreign cultures. China used to be quite a closed country to foreigners for quite a long time, content with its own history and traditional culture, and then more recently with the Mao era political ideology. And only for the last 30 years or so, China has been opening up more to foreigners. And that process is still ongoing, and you can see it, and you can feel it when you are working in China. 30 years is a long time already, but China is a huge country, so you are sure to meet people for whom you are the first foreigner they ever meet in their life. And when you are, for example, walking in the Tiananmen Square in Beijing, it's quite common that you meet Chinese tourists from the countryside who want to take their photos with you, because you are the first foreigner they meet and you're part of their experience of the big world. So that is something that's very typical for China.